In the news.
Let's move on.
In the news this week. Yeah, thank you. I'll just keep doing my thing if that's all right. Yeah. In the news this week, we saw a bit of a paragraph from Jon Jones being a bit of complaints about some stuff that people have said in terms of that he should be stripped of his belt because he's injured and it's going to take him too long to come back and he's injured and he should be stripped of his belt because he's injured. But he's like, nah, I don't want that. I've been fighting the top people.
It kind of came out of nowhere. He just like put it on Twitter.
Yeah, it was like the news was a couple of days old, and he was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna put this out there this morning, and yeah, exactly. So he pretty much racked up a line and just wrote spat some truths onto X.com.
The thing is, like, what he's saying is kind of true in some way.
Do you want to bring up the tweet? And then we can just read directly from him. Yeah. Anyway, what you're saying? What? No, I agree. What he's saying is correct. And the other thing, I've heard some other people speak on this. So what he's saying, Tom Aspinall, I think, was in an interview somewhere saying that he thinks Jon Jones should be stripped of the belt because he's going to be out for an amount of time, and the fight that he's rumored to come back for is to still fight Stipe, which doesn't make sense because Tom Aspinall has the interim belt, but rah. Here's my thing, right? And someone else has said it already, and they're completely correct. We're just going to miss another super fight.
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is just... This is the greatest fighter of all time that we have seen in the octagon against the greatest heavyweight of all time, you know? Jon Jones traditionally wasn't a heavyweight. He made the name for himself at light heavyweight, has since recently moved up to heavyweight, and now there's an opportunity that we can see the greatest of all time versus the greatest heavyweight of all time.
And then John, it's a shame it didn't just happen. Like, it should have just happened, and then we could have moved on from that, and we'd be all good. But because Jon Jones got injured,
he tore his pectoral muscle away from the bone.
It just makes it even worse because now Stipe is going to be 8 months older. There's this whole fucking, oh, he's old, man. He's like 42. And he didn't look, he was limping going into the arena, which was interesting.
Yeah, it's a money grab, in my opinion.
It is, right?
God, is it anything else?
Because Stipe is old, and that what they want is for Jon Jones to walk off into the hills, retire undefeated, so that they can say he was the best heavyweight of all time. And they have a bargaining chip over fucking Francis Ngannou. They can say, oh, Ngannou was nothing, basically. They don't usually traditionally want their champions to retire undefeated.
Yeah.
They want them to fall off and then retire eventually. But like, look at George St. Pierre. He tried to walk off into the hills and they were begging him to come back. Khabib, they were begging him to come back. Anyone else there's no one really else who's done that.
No.
Anderson Silva loses like 6 or 7 fights.
Yeah.
Come on, man, retire.
Yeah.
And it's like, just let them retire whenever the fuck they want to. But with Jon Jones, there's an opportunity to have him beat an old Stipe, relatively easy fight. It's not easy, but relatively, because he's old. And then walk off into the hills, and it kind of, the UFC puts a big fuck you to Francis Ngannou, basically. They hate Ngannou. They do.
Yeah. Oh, no, I don't disagree
racist
with you on that. It's not racist, but yeah, it's not warranted, exactly.
No, it's dumb, man. It's petty. Petty would be the right word, I think.
And we've seen Dana be petty with Ariel as well. So there is a lot of that in the sport.
Dana's been petty a couple times, I think.
Yeah. Maybe there's a few examples.
I think he's maybe in like a bit of a manipulator.
Yeah. So Aspinall has since retweeted what Jon Jones said. Oh, here we go. So I've faced the absolute toughest competition this world had to offer for 15 years now. During camp for a title defense, I sustained a major injury that required surgery for the first time in my career. Thanks, mate. Now I have newcomers requesting I get my championship stripped. 0 wins over... Gonna bring up the whole thing?
Oh, shit, sorry.
No, that's all right.
Oh, because Oh, no, there we go. Yeah, we're good.
0 wins... Oh, this is tragic. 0 wins over legends, 0 title defenses, and already thinking you can call the shots to Dana. That's hilarious. In my 15 years, I have seen so many guys who are supposed to be the next big thing. There's only ever been one Jon Jones. Never forget that.
To Do we have a reply from the reply's kind of funny.
The reply from Tom Aspinall was "Sorry, John," or "You're right, sorry, John," something like that. Just it's not that important on the exact words that he used because they were pretty much that.
Yeah, it was just basically like, okay, sorry.
Yeah, he kind of just said, "Yeah, you're right."
I mean, I get what look, he's right, but it's like, why do you have to keep saying this? Why is he so insecure? Why does he have to keep talking about him being good? Like, we know, bro, you're really good. Like, you're really good.
There he does seem to have some essence of doubt when it comes to a Tom Aspinall fight.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like he knows it's not going to happen. Like, I don't want to see John Jones retire after this fight just because
I want to see him.
Yeah, I want to see him keep fighting because he's been dormant for so long. Like,
just a little bit longer, right?
Yeah, he's been nowhere for so long. All of a sudden, we see him fight Cyril Gane. Now he's injured. It's just really unfortunate. But
if he comes back, he beats Stipe and he beats Aspinall, then there's no question.
No question.
Even beating Stipe pretty much means there's no question.
By the time he beats Aspinall, if that happens, right? By the time he beats Aspinall, there'll be another guy.
Yeah.
And then by the time he beats him, there'll be another guy. So I can see the argument for why he would want to retire.
But Aspinall's the guy, you know?
Yeah, he's the interim champ.
And he looks like the modern heavyweight, this new age of heavyweight. And if John can knock him off and just, finish him, did that sound weird?
A little bit.
Then, yeah, it pretty much means, look, I've proved myself. I am the best. I'm the best at heavyweight. I'm the best at light heavyweight, the two most dangerous divisions in the sport.
There's the best women's fighter of all time.
Best women's fighter of all time. He's beaten up a couple of those. And, walk off into the hills. But I don't think we're going to see it happen. I think we see Stipe fight happen. They both cuddle and kiss in the octagon, and then they move on. Both retire.
Yeah, it's possible.
Should we move on?
Yeah. Sean versus Ian Garry at the PI. Some dirty looks, some dirty words, and even
some drama.
Dirty diss track. But
should we bring up the post from Sean, and we'll play it to these lovely viewers of ours because we're now able to do that.
We've figured some stuff out.
Here we go.
I ran into the fucking cuck Ian Garry. Awkward, man. Awkward. He looked at me hard, security had to escort us around. Fucking awkward shit, right? I'm laughing.
Sean Strickland here.
But anyways, Gary, I don't fucking hate you, dude. I actually like you. I think you're a fucking funny little dweeb. You make me fucking laugh. I think you're a dumbass fucking kid who got some pussy that was too good for him and it got in his head and it fucked you up. I look at you like a victim. I don't want to fight you, bro. I'm happy for your success. I'm happy for you. But if you look at me hard and you're feeling some kind of way, if you're feeling some kind of way that you need to get this shit fucking handled and you want to look at me hard and that's what you want, slide up in the DMs, bro. I don't want it. But if that's what you want, you know where to find me, man. So
that is our champion, Sean Strickland.
Middleweight
champ. Apparently they bumped into each other at the PI. We don't know exactly what happened, but there must have been a bit of a mean mug from Ian Garry trying to save face.
Yeah,
really. He's just trying to save face.
Exactly.
Because he already threatened to sue him. Now he's like, okay, that was probably pretty dumb. All right, I'm gonna have to try and fight him. that did make me look like a bitch. Okay, if I look at him funny at the PI, we're probably not actually gonna fight. But it's good for my publicity. And then he's probably got cameras fucking following him around, like, oh my god.
Yeah, that's
His wife's
true.
probably like, oh look, go fight him.
Yeah.
Go and get beat the fuck up so I can leave you.
Sean Strickland just baiting him there though.
Yeah. It's Sean being Sean, isn't it?
Well, yeah, we've heard him call out so many people for a quote unquote sparring match at his gym, which will just ultimately turn into a brawl where someone will definitely get knocked out.
Absolutely.
If Sean and Ian were to go in and do this, but yeah, I don't think that the UFC would let that happen, for one. And for two, Ian would be an idiot to show up and take Sean on with that. He'd go in there, he'd be way too emotional, he'd be fighting out of that kind of, with that in the forefront of his mind, whereas Sean would be going in there
just like a regular sparring.
Just a regular sparring day. And would
these guys could get paid to fight. Like, imagine how stupid you would be to actually have a fight in sparring when you could literally get paid like close to probably millions.
These guys aren't going to fight though.
No, they're not. But you know how stupid that would be? Getting potentially knocked out or beat the fuck up.
in training.
In training, when you could get paid $1 million, you know, that would be fucking stupid.
They're not going to fight though. I mean, even if Sean, God, I hope this doesn't happen. Even if Sean loses the belt in the next couple of fights, right? He's not going back to welterweight for one. Ian Garry is not going to move up to middleweight.
Probably not.
I don't see it happening unless he becomes a champion, a dominant champion for that, and then can kind of go up and go for
if he won the belt, I think I could see him doing a Connor. Featherweight straight to middleweight. Straight to lightweight.
You mean welterweight straight to middleweight?
Like
yeah.
Connor did
Okay. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah.
Because it's the archetype of this type of fighter, right?
Yeah. You know what though? I hate that.
Yeah, it is annoying.
I
it's
hate
annoying
it.
That they keep like
Leon Edwards is calling for it now.
There should be a minimum.
Islam Makhachev is calling for Leon Edwards after, sorry, but he hasn't defended against a lightweight yet. He's defended twice against a featherweight, who's moved up to lightweight. Hasn't defended against a lightweight yet. Can you just be dominant in your division?
Should be four defenses.
Yeah.
Should be like an Usman.
At least.
And then he can.
And Usman didn't even do it because he had too much respect for Izzy. Like,
Or like an Izzy, though, when he went up, he'd already had, 2 or 3 title defenses. It wasn't really a clear contender, so he.
That's right. So it made sense for him to move up. These other guys, there is log jams at the top of these divisions, the lightweight division, log jam. Okay. There's a few guys that should kind of be in line for a title fight. Welterweight division, we've got the same thing. Leon Edwards now is saying that after this fight, he's going to call out.
Strickland.
He's going to call out Strickland.
Yeah.
Whereas there is what's his name? Bilal Muhammad. Don't forget the name. Remember the name. Sorry. Just don't forget
what was
the slogan of his name. Bilal Muhammad should be fighting for a championship.
Don't know that guy.
There is, like we've talked about so many times. Shavkat.
Wonder Boy.
Wonder Boy. Whoever wins these fights is right there for the belt.
For sure.
And Leon Edwards is talking about pussyfooting up to middleweight.
He's saying there's
for
no
a money
fight.
Yeah. What are you talking about, man?
Yeah, this fight, win this fight, maybe another 1 or 2, and then sure, call for a shot. You deserve it, but you've defended once against Usman, and it was very impressive. But now you're going to fight Colby. Colby isn't really a contender at the moment, like he was, but he's not been active. Fight some of these active contenders, knock them off, and then move up.
Look, okay. I'm not saying that there's no room for people moving up in weight classes, and I'm not saying that there's no room for champ versus champ and a double champ, status. But it's people get the belt, and then it's the next thing that they look to. Whereas what you should do is be looking to show that you're dominant in your weight class, or else what's the point in weight classes?
Yeah.
There's no point in weight classes, and there's no point in having a champion.
And it just removes the whole legitimacy of the UFC and the belt. Because it's like, I hold a belt. This is my belt. There's a bunch of people wanting to take it. I'm going to prove over and over again that I am the best. If you're just like, okay, I've got the belt now, I'm the best, I'm going to hop to middleweight, see what happens there. It's like, it's not the same. It removes that level of legitimacy. But saying that, I do think Leon Edwards would beat Sean Strickland.
Yeah. You reckon?
Yeah.
Why?
Do. He's just way better.
Okay, that's pretty, yep. So, okay, we've seen, it's going to be a striking match, that's for one. We've seen Sean Strickland shut down an elite kickboxer before. What makes Leon Edwards any different to Izzy, apart from the fact that he's smaller?
I think Leon Edwards is a better technical strike. Oh, no. Right, let me rephrase that. I think Leon Edwards is better at adjusting than Izzy.
Okay.
I think he'd snipe Strickland in the similar way that Strickland would try to fight him. And I think he'd just be better. He's just better. He's way more technically sound. He would probably mix in some takedowns and some wrestling and some clinch and some trips.
Leon would.
Yeah.
We've got to remember that Strickland isn't a slob on the ground. He's not a bad wrestler.
But Leon is better.
Okay.
He's the only person to officially take down Kamaru Usman, and he controlled Kamaru on the ground. Kamaru is far better at wrestling than Sean. We saw that in their fight when they fought.
A long time ago.
Got dominated.
Yeah.
Absolutely dominated.
A long time ago.
I just have a feeling he would win. Maybe not against Drickus, because Drickus is just much bigger. I think that would be a tough fight, just size wise. But yeah, I think Leon has a good chance against Sean Strickland if that does happen.
It's not going to happen because he's not going to get that fight, because you can't call on, like, it's really hard to say I want Sean or Drakus. You can't build a story until that fight's happened, and he's not going to be waiting in the wings for a few months really until that fight is over to say, yeah, I'm gonna fight this guy now.
Yeah, and then
start, because you can't have that moment in the octagon. You got to
call out someone specific.
That's right. Yeah. It needs to be Bilal Muhammad. Just get it over and done with.
Yeah, just do it. Look, I mean, they already fought once, and in the first round, Bilal got eye poked. He was getting dominated in that first round. So Leon should not be worried. It's money. You get money for fighting him, and people are like, "Yeah, okay, cool, he's good," and then you move on.
Yeah,
Leon would play with
Bilal Muhammad.
Yeah, right. Yeah. He would play with.
Remember the name?
Balal. Balloon.
Balal.
But anyway, we kind of went a bit off topic there. There's one more thing I wanted to bring. We both wanted to bring up before we close this one out. Someone made a diss track on Ian Garry's wife, and / Ian Garry, and Sean Strickland actually added it to his page. You may
somebody save Ian
before,
because I don't want to see him.
It's Froggy Fresh
with a 40-year-old gold digging European.
I'll play a little bit for you guys to listen to, because this is fucking
lyrical
great.
Genius.
Listen to this stuff.
Y'all watch out now. There's a cougar down there. She done got herself a calf. Ain't that a damn shame? Somebody save Ian, cause I don't want to see him with the 40-year-old gold digging European.
So good.
From the king,
love this guy.
Even fucking clean seems mean, while the ring, it's obscene, it's a scheme. Where's the eggs? This
all right.
Is staged.
Okay.
This is a mistake. This is fake, right as Ian Gaze.
If people want to check out the whole thing, though, they can go and have a look at it for themselves. But Tyler Cassidy, formerly known as what do you know?
Froggy Fresh.
Froggy Fresh.
Froggy Fresh is the name. He used to do raps on YouTube, and they were just like jokey, funny kind of raps. But now he actually was going to have a boxing fight on one of those cards, like the Misfitsy.
Oh, okay.
iDubbbz one.
Yep.
But he went and trained with Sam Hyde, and iDubbbz obviously doesn't like Sam Hyde.
Right.
So he kicked him off, basically. It was a big drama. But no, yeah. So now he's getting into the MMA community, and Sean added him to the page. So
that's pretty cool.
Honestly, check this diss track out. Go to Sean Strickland's page. It's the first post on his Instagram currently. Yeah, Tyler Cassidy.
Or Tyler Cassidy, yeah. Who was the guy who created it? But
check it out.
That's very funny.
We're all gonna shit on Ian Garry for the rest of our lives.
I think, like, until he doesn't pass his phone over to his wife to explain things for him, I think that's gonna happen.
It's gonna keep happening.
I'm sorry.
Until he leaves his wife,
Ian.
I think. Until he leaves his wife.
All your own shots, man.
Yeah. Grow up here.
Like, it's just
you're a good guy. You
seem like a cool dude.
You seem like a real cool guy. But who are we to fuck?
Until this came out and the way that he's dealt with this whole thing has happened, I thought, I thought highly of Ian Garry.
It was until that fucking Neil Magny fight for me. And I didn't like the mugshot on the t-shirt.
I didn't even know about any of that stuff. Like, I watched those fights, but I wasn't following him close enough at that time to know that this stuff was even going on. So to hear about it all now, it seems just more like
it was pretty shit.
It seems more cancel culture-y now what's going on to Ian Garry than like but he deserves every ounce of it. Like, people know that if you go and push buttons and you try and get a response out of the media or like the world, like you try and get a shock response, which I think is what he and her tried to do here, rather than like, I don't think their ultimate goal was to play the victim.
No, yeah.
If you go out looking for that, expect to
he should just play the heel. He should just turn into the villain.
Yeah.
Talk a bunch of shit, make everyone hate him. He's going to be popular anyways.
Do you know what? Right?
He's not Conor McGregor. People aren't going to love him like they loved Conor McGregor. It's just never going to happen.
And there's a way you could turn this around, right? Everyone loves MILFs. Okay? Everyone loves MILFs. I don't care where you're listening from. I don't care what gender you are. One. I don't care if if we're talking about big titty MILFs or we're talking about big booty MILFs. We're just talking about MILFs in general. Everyone loves them. Ian, that's the card you need to play. You just need to be like, what?
Everybody loves a MILF. Everybody loves MILFs. Everybody loves a MILF.
Could you imagine, like, if he just came out in the press conference and was like, are you guys arguing with me for getting married to a MILF? Like, that's my stance.
He needs to do
on the whole
something.
thing.
That press conference is going to be, going to be this Friday. This Friday coming.
Keep an eye out. That's probably going to be a big part of our
next week. Yeah, for sure.
Holy crap!
Somebody
save Ian.
Somebody save Ian, because I don't want to see him
With a 40-year-old gold digging
European.